girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Hello, how you doing? Hi, Halo. Can you let me know if my audio is okay? I moved my microphone away from me a bit because it was right next to my keyboard. It's kind of annoying with all the clickety clacks. I know it's still going to pick it up, but is my audio still okay? Hey, lovely. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. All right. Well, it's going to take a little bit for people to come in. I'm doing this a little bit early. It might be too early. Might be kind of dinner time for a lot of people, but I thought I would go ahead and do mine a little bit early because I'm going to be going over the new documents on the Idaho 4 case before we jump down the rabbit hole. And y'all know I don't normally go down the rabbit hole, but I was perusing in the Idaho 4 group, and it seems like there's a general consensus that there's some things that are still bugging people. And a few of them are things that still kind of eat at me, that sometimes I'll go, but what about that guy? What about this? There's several things that I've seen along the way that I never really said anything about, but I don't know. I just personally, I really hope that these things were checked into. You know what I mean? But I will be going over all of that. And I don't know. I'm not real good at going down the rabbit hole, so you guys will have to help me a little bit. Hello, Stephen Martin. How are you doing? So we're going to just go on over. Let me share my screen. This way. There we go. All right. So I'm backing up a couple of steps on the documents just to kind of update people who haven't kept updated on the latest documents, because they kind of all go together, if that makes sense. Well, hello, London. Good evening. What time is it there? Is it still March 11th? That is really cool. I would love to visit London, England. That's on my list, as is Jerusalem. Yes, Halo, this case is really crazy. Really crazy. Okay. So now this is too far. I backed up all the way to the PCA, but I may be referring to that, so I thought I'd go ahead and pull it up. All right. So 229 was when the judge entered an order for disclosure of IGG information, just letting these experts of theirs view the IGG materials that were provided by the state. Nobody else, unless they get specific advance permission, can look. And no individual on the family tree who was not previously known to the defense via the defense's own investigation may be contacted by the defense or any agent of the defense. And I don't know if they mentioned, yeah, here it is. The defense's mitigation expert who has created her own family tree and who does not have access to any of the IGG information may continue her mitigation investigation, including contacting defendant's immediate family members and other related individuals. That has kind of stuck with me a little bit, and I'll tell you why. Because they haven't named this person. And you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that this is Gabriela Vargas. I don't know for sure, but it's kind of weird that, I don't know, it's just so strange because who else would it be? Who else would it be? So let me go. So mitigation, I think I made a note here. Give me just a second. Okay. So mitigation specialists or experts, they're better than I don't know, a worried wife digging online. They're better than any of us could ever dream. They have very impressive information gathering skills and training that even most lawyers don't have. That's why lawyers bring them on. I mean, they're almost as good at digging as an obsessed, jealous woman. Mitigation is known as like mitigating factors or mitigating evidence. So that's the evidence that the defense can present during the sentencing phase of a capital trial. So they're going to be, if he's convicted, then they have a mitigation phase of the trial, and they've got to like explain why he should not receive the death penalty. So they go into his life before, during, and after, all the good things that he did before. It's a whole thing. But I'm just wondering who that is. You know what I mean? I really wonder who that is. And something's telling me that it's Gabriela. Okay, so that's cool, Halo. And then this one was pretty interesting. This was a response to public records request. And it was kind of weird because why did this news person send in a media request wanting to know total cost to date of the case against Brian Kohberger, including both defense and prosecution, and any other costs this case is required? The court would have no idea. There's no reason for that to be sent there. I don't have it up now, but I had pulled up the website. You know what? I think I am going to pull it up because it was kind of funny. You guys are going to be like, what? Hold on. What was that website called? Now I have it in one of my little things here. I'll just do it this way. Now, I'll recognize it if I see it. Let me look at my history because it's really funny. KHQ. Nope. What was the name of that? Is it this one? Yeah, I think it's this one. Nope, that's the Twitter. Okay, is it this one? Nope. Gosh darn it. I hadn't even thought about pulling this one up today, but I had found here it is. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. Let me show you guys something in just a moment here. I have to get that page up that I found in here. So I was trying to find this guy and kind of dig on him and figure out, like, what is he up to? You know? What is he doing? Connect. Is it connect? I had to click around here quite a bit in this website to find it. But once I found it, I was really glad because it was so cute. I was like, what? I've never seen a profile page like this. So if I can find it again, it'll be worth it. Hang on just a moment. Just something kind of cool. I was like, that is a neat idea for a website for sure. Well, under connect. I'm not going to look for too long because it's not that big a deal. Should have been. All right. I know I saved it in a document file, but I don't know where I put that. So that was, this happened back on 2/28. Let me look at my history for 2/28. That's going to do it probably. Or it might have been 2/29, but hang on. Because it's really funny. I was like, that is a cool idea for a website. And I know I don't normally do lives like this, but I'm getting a little out there today. Okay, March 10th. Let me just use my page down because Lord have mercy. I probably visit 50 websites a day. Come on. Lots of scrolling. Where am I at now? Yeah, this is not the local website that I found. I'm only on March 10th, you guys. Okay, hang on. Aha, now my page down is working. Well, one day I went on a major rabbit hole on Google Maps, as I can see here. I don't know what I was doing that day. Come on. It's probably, I'm going to stop like on the first. No. I don't even know. Why is it wanting a zip code? Nah. Oh, that's cool. You can literally watch Washington and Pennsylvania, like TV on this website. I'll have to check that out later. Okay, I'm not going to worry about looking this up. But what it was a profile page for like all of their people and like their profile pictures. But when you put the mouse over the photo, it changed to a silly pose. And some of them were absolutely hilarious. Like picture one was their normal professional photo. And then picture 2, if you put your mouse over it, it changed into something totally outrageous. And some of these people really understood the assignment. It was so funny. But I can't find it right now, so I'm not even going to worry about it. We're not here for that anyway. I really don't want to waste too much time. Oh, goodness. Jan, what do you mean? I don't understand. Hang on. I'm going to bump you to moderator Halo, if you don't mind. If there's anything. Okay. You'll need to elaborate, Jan. Okay. So anyway, this guy had done this thing, and I'm wondering if he only did it because it's an election year. As you know, Chief Fry is stepping down. He's retiring in May, and he's running for sheriff against the current sheriff, which is going to be quite interesting. That's going to be something else. I wonder what this is about. Just weird. Okay, and then so the judge came after the last hearing and set okay, cool. Thank you so much. Set some deadlines. I'm not going to list all of them because then the state came back, or the defense came back after that, requesting additional deadlines. And I went over this document in more detail on my last live, but they're wanting to really push things a little further. Then this is the new ones here. The defense filed something. Hello, Miss Incognito. How are you? The defense filed a motion to seal their motion to augment the record. And that's kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Where they backdate something or they change something that's on the record. Hey, Wilby, how are you? So we're not going to be able to see it because the judge granted the order here. So don't know what they're wanting to augment the record about. Things like this drive me crazy. Like this sealing of everything in the gag order, I get it. But it's driving us all crazy because we want to know what's going on, So we don't know. We won't get to find out what they wanted to augment. I guess we'll find out later. So then this is the other new one. There's another one after this. The state filed an objection to the defendant's motion requesting additional deadlines. I'm going to read this one really quick because it's not too long. It says, comes now. This is also, just so you know, this was filed yesterday and it just came up on the court case today. Good to see you too. Okay. Comes now the state of Idaho by and through the Latah County prosecuting attorney and objects to defendant's motion requesting additional deadlines filed on March 6th. As the record reflects, when the parties appeared before the court on Wednesday, February 28th, discussion was had regarding scheduling orders and trial dates. Both the state and the court indicated interest in a March 3rd, 2025 trial date. The state also proceeded to outline a list of proposed pretrial deadlines. The court then asked the state to submit those proposals to the court. Let's see. Oh, why you even bother? The jerks. Oh, that's too funny, Jim. You know what? I've done that. I have had, because I've written 3 monitors, I'll have one live up on monitor 1 and then one way over here on monitor 3, and I'll type in the wrong one. Yeah. You're fine. I was like, what is she talking about? Okay. The court then asked the state to submit those proposals to the court, which the state did by letter February 28th, a copy of which is attached as Exhibit A. The state's proposed deadlines would accommodate a March 3rd, 2025 trial date. That's good because we want this trial to start. My God, it's still a year away from right now, a whole year, you guys. It's just, these poor families. I know we're going crazy. We want to know what's going on. We want to see all this, but the families, they're who really matter, and they're having to wait another year at least from right now. Okay. I was like, what? Okay, Halo, if you wouldn't mind deleting those couple of things that she accidentally put in here, or you can retract them, Jam, whatever. You're fine, no worries. Okay, or leave them, I don't care. Okay, the additional deadlines proposed in the defendant's March 6th filing would negate any possibility of a March 3rd, 2025 trial date. Because of this, and for the reasons previously articulated in our filings and in court, the state objects to the defendant's March 6th, 2024 motion requesting additional deadlines and resubmits a March 3rd, 2025 trial date with pretrial deadlines as outlined in Exhibit A. So they're like, no, you're not getting any more time, which is crazy. Hi, Evil Alaska, how are you? Normally the state would be the one thinking, oh, okay, we get more time. But they're like, nope, they're ready. The state is clearly, they're ready. They know they're going to be ready on time. So I know Anne's not going to be happy when she gets this letter, but here's the letter that the state had sent. So these are the deadlines that they want here. They want the jury trial, March 3rd, 2025, and then all of these discovery deadlines. I'm not going to read all of these. I'll just upload all of this to the Facebook group. The link is below in the description. So there's a files section in there that you can go and get them. Oh, this is a crazy case. This is a really crazy one. And the stuff that I'm going to show and go over may be a little confusing for you if you're not familiar. But, as somebody who hasn't seen this case at all, maybe you're a great person to look at these things without any kind of, idea or bias, right? So I'll be interested to hear what you have to say, because I'm going to pull up a few things that I've never been able to just let go. They still kind of bother me. So if anybody else has anything like that, something that you remember seeing or hearing, other than anything that's, I don't go for victim blaming. Other than that, we're all cool. We can talk about whatever. All right, so let's see. This one is where they agreed. So that one actually went back here, so we're not going to worry about it. Okay, so let me pull up so let's see. Where do I want to start? Let me look at my list here. I have a list. I have a list about it. Let's see. So now remember that, anything that we discuss is, from this point, is speculation. I try not to do too much of that because it's just confusing to a lot of people. And I don't know, I'm just not a fan of it. But these things are pretty interesting to me. I was seeing if I had my little disclaimer available. I don't see it. Where in the world? You know what? I don't think I uploaded it. Hang on. That's what I did. I made a brand new disclaimer for spring. And I haven't even uploaded it yet. Hang on, let me see if I have it handy. It's real cute. It's funny, I forgot all about it. I put that thing. Oh, and you guys, you know the thing that I said I was gonna make with the basket and the rope from that movie? It puts the lotion on the skin or it gets the hose again. That one. I got my order in and I'm gonna get that set up. And then so next time I have a live, I'm gonna have my camera on and you'll see the basket and stuff behind me. Well, this is the other one, but I guess it's okay. Isn't that cute, you guys? So this is my doggies. I have my little Yorkie in my lap, and then my Min Pin and my Dachshund. I made that like a week or two ago. I thought this was going to be the other disclaimer, but that's okay. I don't think I really need any copyright disclaimers or anything today. So let's go over here because there's one thing. Hope it's still up. Yeah. Okay. So you guys may remember back, if you've been following the case, where the day that they hauled. Hi, Purple. How are you? Hello, the big white horse. How are you doing? Do you guys remember the day that they came? It was really early in the case, and it really confused me because they had regular dump trucks show up at the house, and it was just the very next day, and haul away the dumpster, but they didn't gather up. They left quite a mess behind. There was huge mess all up and down this area, and but they put all the dumpster stuff in this dumpster, and then this same truck drove around to the other dumpster by the apartments and the one at the end of the street. It was all together. And then when they left, there was a some police officers in a truck following them. But I was like, even if they do find it, let me show you the video and you guys tell me what you think. Because I was like, what are they doing? I don't think you're doing it right, fellas. So right here, for anybody who's not familiar with the case, the house is right here. It's on the corner. This is where the unalivings happened. And again, that was Sunday, November 13th, 2022. And the victims were Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogan, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle, all at the same time. It was awful. So now you can see all this trash up in here. It's all around the dumpster. And the dumpster was full, if you guys remember, if you were following the case. They just dumped it into this. And then they went to the end of the street and they did the same thing. And then they went over to the apartment and got that trash. What if, something evidentiary value, like, I don't know, the murder weapon was put in the trash? This has always kind of bothered me. So I'm going to play this and you guys just tell me what you think. If you think, because I did see some police following them when they left the neighborhood. Do you think that they would have taken all of that trash from these like 3 completely different dumpsters and gone through it somewhere? And what if they did find something? Let me play it here. There's some other videos. Yes, they did tear the whole house down. It was so sad and crazy. I don't get it. There was nobody really, the victims' families were completely against it. I think it's going to hurt them in a jury trial. I really do. There's a lot of people that are not the jury members. That's going to have to be on the questionnaire. Are you okay with doing a virtual tour? Because that's really weird. I don't think they're going to get it's not going to be the same effect. And it gives the impression that the state may be hiding something by not letting jury visit the scene. It's a jury's right to visit the scene. They have the right, but they've already taken that away from them. So there's other videos that she had. It's pulling up on my, there we go. So this is the house that had the camera right there. The camera is still intact. Here, is it? I can't really tell. I'm not going to pull it up closer. This is the one that caught the corner. So they emptied this dumpster and that dumpster by the house. There's the house right there in the corner. And then they came over here to the apartments on the other side of these buildings over here and got all that stuff too. But they found a jacket on the ground that does look like exactly like the one that Maddie was wearing. Hello, SWTC. How are you? And they put that back on the ground. And I've always wondered about that too. And I'll show you guys. So there was this. And there were neighbors out like videotaping them. Like, what are you doing, dude? And then this is them leaving. And these were officers in this vehicle. There were like 5 different men in that one truck. So they followed them, but did they really follow them? Or did that stuff get taken to the landfill? That has always bothered me. And I think there's another video of them over at the apartment complex getting that too. It wasn't easy getting, I don't know if I'm going to lose my place when I hit the back button. We'll see. Yep, I knew it. Yeah, there's no way I can get all the way back because it took me forever to scroll down to that. Let me, oh, I'm on the wrong one. Hang on. This one. Dumpster. Maybe it's this one. So the dumpster thing has always bothered me. Like, what did they really do with that? And I know there was another one too. There is another video of them over here next door at the apartments getting all of that as well. But I don't see it here. And believe me, it took a lot of like page down, page down, page down, page down. She posts a lot on Twitter. Hey, Jeff H. I need you, buddy. Because I'm going to be pulling up something from the Grub Truck video. And I couldn't find yours that you had. And that's one of the things that's always bothered me is I saw something on the Grub Truck video. And I've never forgotten it because it's a white car that pulls up there and turns around and drives back towards where the girls were coming from right before they got there. And it's just strange. So I'm going to show you guys that. But if you see this timestamp that I'm going to show you, if you can enhance it even better, that would be cool. Because I would love to identify that vehicle. And then it also shows the vehicle that the girl that pulls up to get the girls. You can see the vehicle in the reflection of the window. And I would love to see that portion of the video get some attention, so that might be cool. If you want to take a look at that, Jeff, let me know. And if anybody would like to get up here and chat with me, that would be awesome, especially if you've got stuff that's always kind of bothered you, or if you know any of the answers that I'm looking for. Where did they take all of the garbage? Because this dumpster is right in front of the murder house. Why would they take all that stuff to the landfill? I hope they didn't. I really hope that they took everything to a place and dumped it all out and looked through it. But what bothers me about that is they put all 3 dumpsters into the same truck. Why would they do that? Did the police mess up on that or not? I don't know. I've always wondered why they because let's say they found something of value, if they found a knife or something in the trash, they could never testify as to the chain of command or chain of possession or whatever they call that. Because they put everything in one dump truck. They could never say, we found it in the dumpster in front of the house, right? They could never say, we found it at the dumpster down the street or at the apartments right next to where the jacket was. Why in the hell did they put everything in one dump truck? That's what I want to know. So I think that would be worth knowing, because that could be a huge thing if they did find anything in there. I guarantee you Ann Taylor would get that thrown out in a heartbeat. She would get whatever they found in that dump truck from these 3 completely different dumpsters would never make it to trial. Guarantee you. So let me look at my list here. So what do you guys think of that? This is odd. I can't see any of Esther Bauer's posts. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let me know if you need anything. Yeah, look at this one. There's another one as well. I don't know where the heck it went. I thought it was in the same thread. Now I'm only seeing these. There's at least 2 other videos. And I knew I should have got screenshots of that. I don't think I did. Let me look at my screenshots folder here. Hang on. Nope, that link that I pulled up is the only one. So if they put all of that into one dump truck and took it somewhere to sort through it, and they did find something, they are SOL on that evidence. They should have done separate dump trucks, period, if they were going to use dump trucks. And then, there's the problem right there. They're using a regular city dump truck. Why? You know how contaminated a dump truck is? There's no reason at all. I hope they didn't find anything, because they screwed the pooch on this one if they did, in my opinion. So, Esther, Jeff H said he can't see you in chat. Did you block him? Okay. So again, if anybody wants to come up here, let me know. I'll drop the link. So let me go over the next thing that I found was weird. I have always wondered about this. So back before Brian was ever arrested, you know how we were all stalking social media and digging and sleuthing and stuff. And, like, who is it? Especially the people the guys, on their social media. And on the thumbnail, you might have noticed, and I got an ant on my laptop. Nope. Nope. No ants in my house. Go away. I had to squish it. Sorry. Okay. So there was this guy right here. Oh, wait. I found this. And now I don't remember where I got. This is a screenshot that I got way back, and I don't know. I don't remember what this was. It's driving me crazy. But there wasn't that much trash in this one when they dumped it out. This was right before the dump truck got it. You can see it's not full. But the one right next to the house was like overflowing, And then they just left everything around. All this stuff that you see on the ground. All this. And there was bags around, and there were other bags behind it just sitting there. They didn't take any of that. They just took what was in the dumpster, which was so strange. And they left all this trash out here. All right, so then let me pull up this. So when I was looking through the social media, there was this that popped up. And hold on just a moment. This one. This one. Okay. There was this that popped up, and I find it weird. I was looking through it back then because this guy was all over their Kaylee's TikTok. And so I started digging into him, and I don't want to close that. So first there was this post, and by the way, this was Kaylee's TikTok at the time, before they closed it. It's not publicly accessible anymore, but so I'm going to pull that one up in just a moment. But this is the one that made me start looking at this guy. I was like, what? Look at this freak. This guy really gave me the creeps. This was one of his TikToks. Can you read that? Ever think about tying her up and doing ungodly things to her? I'm going to show you this guy's TikTok. What's weird is those of us who managed to get screenshots of this, he deleted these. I'll show you the other one. The other one that really made me go, what in the hell? I thought this was a girl when I first pulled it up, but it's him. So look at this, you guys. What's that? Seriously, look at that knife. I don't want somebody taking my content. I have somebody that keeps taking my content and using it to make videos and stuff. So I'm trying to use my little watermark, and I'm not really good at it. So look at that knife. This is on this guy's TikTok in a ghillie suit. How creepy is that? I'm going to check chat. See what you guys think about this guy. Cool, Halo. I would love to see what you have. I would love to see that. Total weirdo. You think this, the big white horse says, I think the sheath was left deliberately. I think it might have. And the reason that I kind of agree with that too, I think that's completely possible, is there was so little DNA on it. It was literally under the snap. So if he's the guy, whether he's the guy or not, I'm not gonna worry about it. It was single source DNA. So we know it's only one person and that's it on the sheet. But what's weird is it was very well hidden on the sheet. It wasn't, it was like on it. In a way that if he was trying to wipe it, it shouldn't have been there. So that's why I'm wondering if it was on the male part of the snap or the female. That is going to be super important to me when we get to trial as to whether I believe that it was planted or not. I just always thought that this guy was creepy as hell. And I always wondered about him, and I've never forgotten about him. Let me go to his TikTok. And I can take that off because I don't need to brand his stuff. Okay. So he stopped posting on TikTok. But what's weird is the ones that were on here, they're gone. And all of his TikToks are so weird. They're creepy. Very creepy. I'll show you one that made me say, what in the hell? Look at this one. Nope, it's not this one. He did all these with the girls that look like the girls, in my opinion. Where's that one that I was like, did you really put that on TikTok? Like he has I don't know who he is, and I'm just speculating. I am just speculating today. But I think he's weird regardless. If you pull up his TikTok and go through it, you'll see there's some disturbing stuff on here. And I'm looking for the one with the, where is it? I mean, there's several. But it was the same girl. I recognize her. And not this one. It was right around here, remember. He had one on here with a girl, like making, hey, you want to make a plan to go, unalive some people. It was weird. Maybe it's this one because it's hidden. Yep, this is it. Sound isn't available. Okay. Creepy much? There's a lot of that on his page. A lot. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, I didn't worry about all of the TikTokers that had, all of their hunting photos and stuff like that because that is completely normal in Idaho, and it is just as normal, if not more normal, here in Oklahoma. No big deal whatsoever. Oh, okay, cool. Good, Jeff. So, I mean, this guy right here has incel written all over him, and he might be a total sweetheart, but that's just my opinion. It's weird. If his eyebrows were any bushier, I'd be like, "Hello, Moscow Police Department," because I don't know why you took down some of them. There were more on here that were disturbing. And I got, those few screenshots early on before Brian was arrested. But he does all these stitches with females, and it's just all really bizarre. Let's see. Okay. So let's see. So that's that guy. I don't know who he is, but the date on that one. This one, let's see. 2020. But he was all over Kaylee's TikTok. But then right after, before even Brian Koberger was arrested, he went back and deleted a bunch of his TikToks. I don't know why. I just think it's weird. I don't have an explanation. I have no idea. I'm just speculating. But this guy was on my radar, and I've never really forgotten. I don't know. Just a little hunch that I have. Just a hunch. I mean, all of his stuff on here was about how he'd been hurt so many times, and he had a lot of feelings, felt a certain way about females in general, really bad negative vibes. Like he doesn't like, or he's like sick of women hurting him. So yeah, come and check it out. Might be good for somebody to dig into. Okay. So the next thing is, I already did the dumpster. I'm going to close these out so I don't confuse myself. I'm going to close out Esther's too. I don't even need the documents now. Let me clean up my area a little bit. Okay. So I don't know if any of you guys are in the Idaho 4 group. I mean, there's several groups, but I think this is the biggest one. So this, let me change my, where'd you go, Macy? Well, I got it right here anyway. Oh, here it is. Okay. So do you guys remember this person going around? They're back. They're active again in the group. And this Macy May is the same one that this one. Yeah. The Gonzalez family had put these text messages out wanting to know who this person was and why they were planning such a thing. I believe that this is related to Brett Norton. I don't know how. It's just a hunch. But they had these text messages, and they were asking people to please give them more information on these. And Macy May in the group went completely silent. Now she's back. She's back to posting. And she always puts up the weird stuff. Weird posts. And she's very much, pro Brian and against the family, and it's just sick. I don't like her at all. I think she's disgusting, And I would love, whew, I'm not even going to finish that sentence. No, Macy May, you are the one that needs to shrink. She's putting stuff like this up in the group all the time. And I believe she was probably responsible for these messages. And I did a video on these back then when these came out in October. But remember, see how she's referring. The reason that I think that this is related to Brett Norton is because she says right here, oh my God, Steve G is denying talking to Bloom, but that's a distraction. Bloom never said he spoke to him. He kept referring to messages he sent to others. I'm going to spread as many rumors about Steve G as I can. Will you help me? This person said no. And was it this way? Yeah. We need to shut him down. We made a bunch of fake screenshots pretending they were from Steve and sent them to that genius Bloom who helped spread our agenda. Psycho. This is the person that did that. I mean, if you just look at her post in the group, she says, red-faced, haggard, slump, gaze-averting Bill Thompson on one side, poised Ann Taylor standing tall and proud, and Brian Kohberger sitting up straight, composed, never averting gaze from the judge's face on the other side. And somebody said, where is it? I mean, they were like roasting her. Somebody said, like, were you watching the same thing I was watching? Anyway, it was kind of funny. But yeah. She does not like Bill Thompson, but she loves Ann Taylor. Sound familiar? Sounds really familiar to me. Let's see here. Hang on. So the next thing that kind of bothers me, where is it? Is this one right here. This has never really been fully explained to me, and I'll tell you why I'm like weirded out by it. In the PCA, it makes a reference to the fact that Brian Kohberger, 5 days after the killings, went and updated his registration and tags and stuff. Well, what's weird is he had already updated the registration. If you look here, this right here is his registration that he was showing in October when he got pulled over. And it was already registered in Washington at his address. And it was effective July 1st. This has always bothered me, and I've never really understood it because they put in the PCA that he, had gotten new tags, and, the reason that they ID'd his vehicle is because it did not have a fret plate on it, and that he went 5 days later and updated all of his stuff and got new tags to, throw police off. But the back tag was already registered to him in Washington. So that to me doesn't add up. That does not add up. He had already been registered since July 1st. And I mean, you guys know that I'm very pro, I guess you could call me pro state. I think they probably have the right guy. But I think this might come and bite him in the butt come trial. Because that is in the PCA that they're making it look like he did those updates to his registration and tag to throw police off. So why didn't he just leave? If he was planning to do this, why didn't he just leave his old tags? Because you can drive an out-of-state vehicle for a hell of a lot longer than they say you're supposed to. They always say you do it within 30 days. Many people don't do it for a year or two. So yeah, this is the insurance card but it would have to match the paper registration. Because that's what they go by, your registration. So he already had everything updated in July. He just didn't get the front tags until the week after. Reaching is something that I don't really like. I like more solid information. And I think that Anne is a really, really good attorney. And I think she's going to do a really good job at mitigating this right here. So I think that this is going to come out and it's going to be a much bigger deal than people realize. They're like, oh, if he was hiding, what he already had most of it done. All he had to do is go get a front plate. That's it. So that has always kind of bothered me. Hey, Julianne, how are you doing? Right. Yes, he had the pit. Right. All he had to do was get the Washington plates. He already had a plate on the back, his Pennsylvania one. 5 days after, he went and got Washington plates for the back and the front. But he was already known to be right there at that address. This is his address at Steptoe Apartments, right here, as of July. So it's just weird. Hi, welcome in. So that's one thing that has always kind of bothered me, and I have questions about it. You mean this one? No, this is Washington right here. Washington. This is Washington right here. And the address of Pullman, Washington right here. Effective date, July 1st, 2022. You can pull up this video and probably get an even better screenshot. I just did a quick one. Okay, so let me see. So now, Jeff, help me out with this one because I'm really curious about something I saw in here, and I would love to know what you think. As they're standing here, this is right before the girls came, and there's some people standing over here. You can see a white car pull up, pull in there, and then back out and leave again. I don't know where my other better screenshot is, though. Hang on just a moment. Now I have a kind of a screenshot of it. Did I not take a screenshot of my screenshot? Hang on just a moment. Download. Okay, go this way. You'll see it in the video, but it'll be hard to see. That's why I want to pull up the screenshot so you can see it closer. I'll let me find it again. Gosh darn it. I had it open for making the thumbnail, and I closed it. It's in the review folder. There we go. Review. Hang on, I can't see. I've got it on my little laptop. There we go. I had to pull it over to my big screen. So I can't see chat for just a minute, you guys. Let's see where I put it. Should have been right under this one. Well, let me just do this. I don't want to waste too much time, so I'm just going to do it this way. I know I already have it on my thumbnail, so I'm going to copy it to a new page real quick and just show that. Golly, where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, so this is the screenshot that I'm talking about here. It's while this guy's standing there. Oh, let me get chat back over here where I can see you guys. Okay. There's a point in the video where that car drives by, pulls in, and then leaves. And it was right before the girls came. And I've always wondered if there's anything to that car because it was a white car. Just curious, just one of those things that kind of just always stuck with me. So, and you can barely see it. Yes, I know, Jeff. Okay, so I've always been kind of curious about this car pulling in and then leaving again right at the time, right before the girls arrived. So I would love to know more about that. So where I saw it is
chicken or pork? Got it.
I'm gonna leave the volume down. It was right back here behind them.
Oh, yeah. 152. We get a fried egg on the egg and cheese, food truck, and tacos. Egg and cheese. Absolutely. A lot of wins. How are you guys doing?
Okay, 42:32. It was about 10 minutes before.
Dangerously cheesy. Beginning of the night and then end of the night, like when people start leaving the bars, and then when we first open. So, thank you.
So right here is where the girls had arrived.
Hello.
And it was right before. Where in the heck is it?
With bacon is 30.50.
So you can see cars going by. That might have been it. So yeah, Jeff, I would love if you would find that car again on here and tell me, because I know that they say that he didn't enter the area until but something about this one car. And you can also, if you're really paying attention, you can see the actual car that pulls up to pick up the girls as well when they leave.
What would you like?
And I still don't like this guy right here. Something about him, I don't like him at all.
Max, and then each drink is $1.50. Seemed to lost my pen, but that's fine. What can I get for you?
So there's the girls. And then they leave. But anyway, I would love to dig a little more into that. I know there was a couple of channels that like watched every single minute of this thing over and over and over. But there's just this one part where you can see the two cars, the one that looks like a white car, and then the car that pulls up to pick up the girls. I would love to dig a little more onto that, just those two. Okay, cool, Jeff. That would be great. I think it'd be really interesting to dig into that a little more because the timing was really weird. And you can see the car that pulls up to pick them up. And it looks like somebody did get out of it, stand up, out of the car. And you can just see it right there in this reflection. So I know everybody was watching the people all the time, right? But if you watch this, you can see quite a bit behind the food truck. So, okay, let me see my list. Give me just a moment here. I have some questions as well that's going to be brought up in more detail on my live for Thursday night. And that one's going to be going over the Leighton shoe print questions that I have and a lot of digging that I've done on that. So if between now and Thursday, if I get enough time to make a video instead of doing a live, the one on the Leighton shoe print may end up being just a video rather than a live, because it's not a lot. It's maybe 30 minutes tops of information. So usually if I'm not going to have like an hour's worth of stuff, I try not to even do a live, you know. Let me see. There's anything else. I mean, there's a couple other things, but now let me see. Give me just a moment. Let me see if this works. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and give away 5 memberships just while we're here. So let's see who gets some. It's random. I don't choose the people. So let's see who got them. Southwest Firefly, Bobby 6, Karen Roxy, Lady Wolf Creations, and Michelle Caudill. Well, congratulations to those people. And I'll do another one on. Now, next week is spring break. So I don't know what my plans are for lives or stuff next week. My 12-year-old has a lot of stuff that she wants to do and friends over and all that stuff. So it might be kind of a madhouse here. But the next week after that, I will definitely do another live. But the lonely Leighton shoe print has always been something that's bothered not just me, but a whole bunch of people. So I've been for a long time just digging and gathering information. And I think I have enough to do a pretty good video. I just got to find time to do it. I don't know how people do it. It's hard. Oh, somebody sent me an email asking me to show, and I don't know if they're in here or not, but they asked me to show like where, nope, that's the house. They wanted me to show where Brian lives and to show that there's several ways in and out of the neighborhood. So I'm going to do that real quick. Because I know it's been put out there that he was, like, he couldn't get out. Okay. Now, give me just a minute. I haven't looked at this in a little bit. I'm trying to remember exactly the spot of that DUI. Because it was the night of the unalivings, and there was a DUI. And if anybody happens to know off the top of your head, I think it was right up. This is right here. Was it right here? Or hang on. I know there was a row of buildings. Or was it over here? There was a row of like 3 or 4 of these buildings right by an intersection, and I think it might have been right here. But anyway, whether it doesn't really matter where it was at in the neighborhood, because this right here is where he lived in this building. And as you can see, when he came out, he could have gone right. He could have gone left. he could have gone through this way. And, you know, like, so if there was an accident here, it could have just gone this way, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter because there's like 15 different ways out of his neighborhood. There was a DUI hit and run accident that night, and I can't remember the intersection. I have it somewhere. And I would have to compare this to the PCA to see his route again. I used to have it totally memorized. And I know, you know, I've gone over it many, many times. If anybody wants to see his actual route, Greg Hughes actually did a really good job on mapping out his exact path from Pullman. And is it left or right on the, yeah, it's over here. All the way over here to Moscow. It was only like a 10-minute drive. You probably took this one right in. So, because this right here, over here, this side of town is where they lived. But yeah, there's lots of ways in and out. That was the only reason I wanted to pull this out, is to show. Somebody asked me to show. Oh, great. My daughter, hang on just a second. I'm going to fall. Where's my mute button? Just a second. I got to tell my daughter to not practice her instrument right now. One moment. Okay. I think what I could do probably is just make a video on it, go through the PCA again, and pin the corners where the cameras caught him, you know, leaving the neighborhood, or suspect vehicle 1. And then show, there's articles out there on the DUI hit and run that happened that night. And it was in this area, but it didn't block anybody in. And there wasn't a death involved in that. So I may dig into that more. I'm more interested in the shoe print stuff right now. I've been really down that rabbit hole a lot. So I think that is pretty much all I have. Okay. Videos. I'm not even sure what this is. I'm going to pull it up really quick before I go, just to see what in the heck it was. So I saved it. So let's see.
I wanted to take a look at what the house on.
Oh, okay. This was right after, and this was kind of a poignant video that somebody took.
King Road, the site of the Idaho 4 murders, looked like in darkness at night when the murders occurred.
Very dark.
Standing is the vantage point that the alleged killer would have had. I'm standing in the parking lot of the apartment building that's directly. I'm standing in the parking.
Stop. So this is just standing up on that hill, perfect view. And I know that all these lights are off, but you know, you're level with this, you know what I mean? So you can see right in. Just so sad.
Point that the alleged killer would have had. I'm standing in the parking lot of the apartment building that's directly behind the house on King Road. There's a bunch of police tape here, but I'm still extremely close to where the actual house is. This is where the white Hyundai was spotted. Those are the sliding glass doors that the killer allegedly entered and exited through. And I am a stone.
Hold on a second. What was the date on this? Okay, January 18th. I was going, wait a minute. I know she didn't just say white Hyundai right after. Okay, this was January 18th. So after the arrest, I was about to say, what the hell, all over again. Because she said this is where the white Hyundai was spotted. And if you notice where she was pointing to when she said that, watch that again.
Those are the sliding glass doors that the killer allegedly entered and exited through. And I am a stone's throw
I'm
from
gonna
where
go
the
back.
killer would have had. Is the vantage point that the alleged killer would have had. I'm standing in the parking lot of the apartment building that's directly behind the house on King Road. There's a bunch of police tape here, but I'm still extremely close to where the actual house is. This is where the white Hyundai.
So right there is where she said, this is where the white Hyundai was spotted. Now, Enon, I can go back just a little bit. Enon Harsh stated that he saw a white Hyundai parked right here. Are those the stairs? Those are the stairs, right? I believe he said right up in here. Not on this side, but on this side. But she just said this is where the white Hyundai was spotted. And it would have been right there. That's where he drew it out on a map that he showed to a creator. So if he was right here, then he would have just gone right, you know, if he's the guy. I don't know why somebody would park under lights. Why wouldn't he have parked in the very back? But it's just weird.
This is where the white Hyundai was spotted. Those are the sliding glass doors that the killer allegedly entered and exited through. And I am a stone's throw from there. And it's just
right there is where he would have gone down. Yeah, okay.
Slope right there.
So right behind her is where I pointed on the map, on the video, where the white car, like across the street. So I guess that would have been a good spot if you're going to just come right down this slope right into the back door. And I know that they got footprints out here as well. I know everybody talks about there's just one footprint in the house. I guarantee you there's more. And I know that they got some stuff out here because they were out here marking them. There were evidence markers out here in the next day or two after. I saw them, and I have pictures of them somewhere. Maybe I can dig them out. But I just remembered that there were like 2 evidence markers out here. So I think they got footprints or something out here as well. Either going in or out, or one or the other, you know. Because this was muddy and wet. It was before the snow started the next day. It looked like this on the night of. There was no snow on the ground. But the very next day, the next evening, it started snowing. And that's when it got totally covered in snow. So I am quite sure that they would have already gotten all of the evidence that they wanted before it got all covered in snow. At least, I hope they did. Let me look at one thing here. Because this was the first day. That was the very first day. And then this is just a couple of days later. So I hope that they got everything that they needed to get. Oh, and I found, okay, I did get a clip. Here is the jacket. Okay, I remember now, guys. I did a screen recording. So let me show you the same trash truck that was over at the other apartments. No, this is at the end of the street. Sorry. This is the one at the end of the street. The same trash truck that got from in front of the house. Why did they do that? Mix up the garbage like that. And I don't know who this is, but he's already going, what the hell are y'all doing? I can just read his mind. Because there were a few people that were out here like recording them doing this. And people were like even going right up to waste management and the police, probably going, what are y'all doing? You know? And this was all on November 15th. And I've never really understood why they did these things. I think there's something after this. Hang on just a moment. Yeah, this is the other video from this view where you can see all the crap that they left on the ground. The big white horse, you're appalled by the demolition? I am too. I don't think they should have done that. Over here, do you see all the bags? Look at all the bags of trash that they left behind. You could see them later. They didn't even gather everything. So they could have just thrown whatever away. And then here is the jacket that's always bothered me. This was also on November 15th. So they're going to, let me see when I'm going to stop it here in just a second. So this is a black jacket that they saw laying over here. And I don't know if I can get a good screen grab of it or pause. But right on the side of the jacket, there was a little white tag sticking out right there. Do you see that? If we were to go over to, I'm going to move this for just a moment. Go back to the grub. Do I still have the group truck video? Where's the grub pub video? Hang on. If you go to the grub truck video, I'm not going to worry about it right now. And you see the jacket that Maddie's wearing at the grub truck, it has the tag on it. Little white tag sticking out. You heard the jacket was used to camouflage tripod. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but they just threw it back down on the ground and left. But if you pull up the video of the grub truck, there's the little white thing sticking out of her jacket as well at the grub truck. So it made a lot of us say, what? Oh, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. I've always wondered about this jacket. Like, why didn't they just go ahead and collect it just to be sure? They just left it behind. Like, oh, well, we don't need that. It doesn't look like anything. How did they know? That's always kind of bothered me. That has honestly really bothered me. So those are the questions that I have always had that have kind of, the ones that I have not been able to get answers to that kind of still bother me. You know what I mean? And I hope that whenever we get to trial, maybe we'll get some answers. Let's see. Let me see if there's anything else. I don't think so. I have two different document files here going. Nope, that is it. So yeah, I just want to say, the biggest problem that we've had in covering this case is all of the fraudsters that have inserted themselves. There's the biggest one's Brett Norton, and then we've had Justin and Tim, and there's somebody named Michelle Lee. There's I'm just gonna say it, Willie, in my opinion, who said he's schoolmate of Brian's. He is now neck deep in the conspiracy channels, which doesn't make any sense because he said he wanted the truth. And then there's somebody that goes by the name of I'm Natalie on my boyfriend's computer. That's literally her name. Then there's Van Life. There's Dot. There's somebody on 4chan that goes by the name. There's Maple Baker and Stevie on 4chan. Let's see, there was lest I forget, Kim WSU Mom, one of the biggest ones, and then one of the biggest ones as well, Dot. So Brat, Dot, and Kim, all the same, the biggest ones in my opinion. And then let's see, who else? I'm trying to remember. God, there's been just so many weirdos that have come forward claiming that they're witnesses and they knew people, and they're just full of it. And they've done nothing but add confusion. I'm not going to give them any of my time, that's for sure. There's something. Oh, yeah, see? Where did you find? If you want me to email you this clip so you can use it, I can email it to you. I don't remember now because it's an old clip, an old screen recording. I believe it was off of one of the news pages, that was like doing little clips out there, like the one lady that I just had up. It was on one of those. So I'm sure it was on Twitter. Because that's where I was getting most of the stuff at the time. I was following the local news people who were at and around the house. But I know the date on that was November 15th. That's all I remember. I can see if I can find the original bit. That was pretty much the whole clip as well. I didn't cut anything off at the beginning or the end. So if you want it, send me an email and I'll email it to you. Because it's weird. It's totally weird. And I would love some answers on that for sure. This photo is the photo of the very night, that same night, night one. And here, this is going to be in my next video. I'm going to be going over this, and that's all I'm going to say. This right here is very telling. And it was night one before they closed everything off from view. That is the same night, November 13th. One person at that time had left flowers out here, and that's all they had. This was the very first night. Isn't that sad? And look how dark it was. And I've always wondered, like, what is that? Because the next day, this and this was not here anymore in the window. I've always wondered what the heck this was. Pillows, maybe, I don't know. Pretty weird. Image through that window with a handprint, I think, is a good idea of how the good vibes light would have lit up the killer's face for Dylan. Right, I have, yes, I have some of those pictures that shows how lit up, for sure. People assumed that it was really dark in there, and it was not. Well, hello, Legendary CEO. How are you doing? Good to see you. Leopard print. What looks like leopard print? Do I need to pull that picture back up? Is it this picture that you're talking about? What leopard print? The curtains? Which curtains? Oh, you mean this? I don't know. It's just this weird window covering, isn't it? Like, I don't know if that was there that day. I don't know. But, I mean, could they have put paper, up in the window? Do you think it looks like leopard print? Kind of does. That's weird. I've always wondered what these items are. Yeah. Signs. There's two good vibe signs that were in the house. One in the living room and one in one of the girls' rooms. I think it was Kaylee's, right? I have all those early photos. I need to get back into my old original Idaho 4 folder and look through a bunch of my photos there. But, I mean, everything changed so dramatically from the 14th here. And then I believe this was, it was the day after they removed all the vehicles, if that makes sense. Yeah, I know it was one of the girls' rooms upstairs. I just can't remember right now off the top of my head which one it was. Close. This is so sad. I was in here digging around on this photo because remember they found that glove later? And remember there's a photo of them out here a few days after, and they were picking up a piece of paper that had notes on it. Do you remember that? We couldn't really make out what was said on it, but what is this, you guys? Doesn't that look like that little white piece of paper that they picked up? I looked around and I don't see any gloves. I mean, it'd be impossible to find a glove. But they had found a glove right up in this area. But I think this is really weird that little thing just happens to be shaped just like the little white thing that they came back. Doesn't that look like a piece of paper folded up? I have a photo somewhere of the police picking up a little white folded paper. Where is that at? It's not in my recent screenshots. Dang it. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, review. Okay, so hang on. I'm not going to be able to see chat for just a second. I need a bigger laptop or another monitor. Okay, social media. Might be in here. Let me make these bigger so I can see it. There's this one I'm going to put up on the screen this is Kaylee. It was Kaylee's room. Because this was that night as well, the very first night. And if you look here, this thing that you see going across here was a string of lights, so you can ignore that. But you guys look at that. There's the pillow. And now nothing happened in this room. This is where Kaylee originally went to bed, and this is where they found Murphy. So, but you can see that the pillow's here. You can see the bed's made but pulled back like somebody was in it and got up. Isn't that weird? And there's the good vibe sign that was in her room. I know I've seen a lot of people take this photo and claim that there was like blood and all this stuff. That's just not at all what happened. Nothing happened in that room. Where is... I know I have it. I have several of those from them collecting things outside the house. There's that awful photo, if you guys remember that. Horrible. Ugh, do we want to look at it? Where is... Don't you love that? Like when you're looking for something, you never can find it. Not sure about the date on this one. But did you know that they never even took the trash that was outside the back door? They never even touched it. The trash stayed there forever. Those bags of trash just stayed there. I have no idea why. They never did anything with the trash. Not sure what this is. Let's see. Oh, that's the cabinet. Never mind. I don't know. I don't know. It's not going to be in this one, is it? Well, I just saw it recently. And I don't know where it's at. But in case anybody hasn't seen, this was their last photo together. Isn't that sad? Just hours before. And Kaylee said, one lucky girl to be surrounded by these people every day. Man. This was a screenshot that I got 6 days after, before they shut it all down. I gotta find that one where they're picking this up. I'll find it. Because it was several days later and it was like wet and gross. You remember what I'm talking about, right? It looked like this, but it was a mess by the time they picked it up. And I don't know if it meant anything, but I was going around like scrolling around and looking like, dang, that looks like $1 bill. There's a hanger over here. This was November. Does that look like the number 2 upside down? What is that? That's weird. What is that shape? Do you see that that's like a shape right there? Am I imagining that? There's just all kinds of like things you can find in this photo. And I'm sure probably none of it means anything. It's just all trash out here. Hell is that? The hell is that? There's something wrong with my eyes today? The hell is that? So over here, right up on the top of this hill, right next to the house, they had found something little and they were collecting it. And then there's that other photo, excuse me, that I have that they found something over here too, up on the hill. And see, remember, this is when they had this here. They moved it and made it bigger after this. Do you guys remember that? They made it a little larger because they found something up here. And now I don't know where that photo is either. They had found something black on the ground. Do you guys remember that? I don't know where it's at. But I had a photo of it when they extended the tape up in that area. Hello, Latina 2010. How are you? It was a little bigger than a glove. I remember they found the glove down there by the vehicles, close to the trash area. That's where they found the glove. Or Chris McDonough said he spotted the glove and alerted police. That's what he said. I don't know. But up on the hill is where they found something else that was black, and it was a little bigger. It looked like a freaking hoodie or something to me. I don't know what it was, but it was weird. Letter 5 or a 2. Right? What I will do is I will take these photos that I've shared today and I will post them in the CrimeSleuthin Facebook group. So you can go download them and zoom in and do whatever you want with them. Because that is a very interesting photo, especially since it is the very next day. And let's see what you are viewing is. Where they were doing the... Yes, I understand that a lot of people think that way, Jan, but I don't. I think it was all right there in the house. I think that is part of the Dot, Tim, Brett Norton stuff. And I don't agree with it at all. Shady JLR was up front and center that morning before noon, I believe. I watched that mess live the next day. JLR was there the next day? I thought he didn't go until January. I'd have to go back and look. I thought he didn't go down there until quite a bit later. It wasn't like right after, like the next day. Could have been. That man, I tell you got to give him credit. When you want to talk about boots on the ground, that man is boots on the ground. He gets all over the place, and I cannot fault him for that at all. He must have a million frequent flyer miles or a car with excellent gas mileage. I don't know. Sure looks like the container Maddie and Kaylee took back from the grip truck. It's in the trash at the back of the house on top. Interesting. Okay, yeah. The big white horse, if you want the full original photo, you can send me an email, or I'm going to put them in the Facebook group. I'll just upload them there in a post so you guys can zoom and stuff. Oh, yeah. He got lots of that, that's for sure. All right, guys. Well, I think I have covered everything that I wanted to cover. If anybody has any like little things that you've noticed along the way that still kind of bother you, speak up now or forever hold your peace. Or if you're on replay crew, you can just, or if you can't think of anything right now, that's cool. Put them in the comments and I will dig on them. Because all the stuff that I've talked about today, I am going to, this next week on spring break, when I'm not going to be able to probably do a live, because I'm telling you, when my girl has all her friends coming in and out, it is crazy loud. She gets the dogs going, barking all the time. She's got her music going all the time. And then my husband's also got all his music going all the time. He's taking off the whole week next week. So I may not even be really around that much. We'll see. Depends on what we have planned. My husband's like, plan something. So now I've got to figure out what we can do for next week for fun for spring break. So I know my brother was going to come up, and I think it was next week. So I need to text him and see. Thank you, Big White Horse. Appreciate it. Let's see. It's popular now. It's a surprise. Yeah, that was a dark house. Yeah, that is interesting. Interesting, love. Yeah, that is a good point. That is a valid point. I really like that. Good night, Jan. All right, guys, I'm going to go. It's time to go make dinner and stuff. And I will see you guys later. Thursday is going to be a very deep dive that I've done into the latent shoe print. It will be very interesting, and I think it'll answer a lot of questions. I'm going to focus mainly on that and that section of the PCA and a little bit of the DNA stuff. So I'm going to be pretty focused on just those 2 or 3 things for Thursday. It'll be cool. So anybody, if you have anything else that you think would be cool to dig into, that's, something that you've never forgotten, something that you saw or thought or whatever, as long as it's not victim blaming, I am cool with whatever. I don't like that. That feels icky to me. So thank you, Halo, so much for your help today. I appreciate you. I will see you guys later. Have a good night. Thank you again for coming. Let me get this off here. And I will see y'all later. Thank you so much.
Hey all y'all. How y'all doing today? All y'all have a good day.